It's an election coming up for the sheriff of Los Angeles County. And as you know, Lee Baca has been the sheriff of L.A. County for 15 years. And there's been a few problems, not only blown budgets, but federal inquiries into violence in the jailhouses and what did he know and when did he know it. And joining us right now is one of the candidates for L.A. County Sheriff. It's a pleasure to welcome to the show, Patrick Gomez. Good morning, Mr. Gomez. How are you?
Good morning. Pleasure to be on your show, Doug.
Now, you just retired, right, from the Sheriff's Department?
I retired in December, yes.
And what was your rank on your way out, sir?
I retired after 31 years as a lieutenant.
Okay, so you've been around. You know the system, I would say, about as well as anybody. Why do you want to be the sheriff of L.A. County?
Well, we certainly need change within the department. That's desperately needed. And the change needs to start at the top with the sheriff. And I want to change the culture of the department. I want to, deal with how people interact with one another, how they deal with the public, how they deal with inmates. And I want to bring back the integrity and honor to both the position of the sheriff as well as the department. And I believe that we need to restore the confidence. That's what I'm going to do. The putting an end to the corruption, the mismanagement, the cover-ups, all that have been taking place since Bach has been the sheriff. And there's currently 3 investigations taking place within the department by the FBI, the Department of Justice, the U.S. Attorney's Office, and there's several federal grand juries that have heard testimony so far. All that has to let your listeners know that there's some serious problems within the department. We need to make some changes, and Baca nor Tanaka are the right choice.
Well, both of them, of course, were running the department when all these problems came up. So if you're a voter that's concerned about those issues, it would seem like you would want to look elsewhere. Patrick Gomez's campaign website, by the way, is patrickgomezforsheriff.com. It's very easy, patrickgomezforsheriff.com. One of the other issues that comes up repeatedly and has come up repeatedly in the sheriff's department under Baca's management is the budget, because his budgets have been notoriously blown over the years.
Yes, they have. And year after year, he's, as you said, he's gone over budget. And what happens is at the end of the fiscal year, they're cutting back. You can't order equipment or supplies. They're also doing carping, which is where a deputy who may be a detective is now assigned to work patrol for one day out of the week to reduce the overtime. But what that does is that takes him out of his position investigating crimes, whether it's a sexual assault or a child abuse, anything like that. So now he's working a patrol car totally away from his cases. That creates a backlog for his work. So it's totally ineffective. He's mismanaged the department, and that's one of the issues that I'm going to deal with as well.
What kind of reaction do you get? I mean, is there a schism within the sheriff's department of those who are loyal to Lee Baca and those who would like to see a change?
If there was a vote right now, there'd be a vote of that Baca is totally incompetent, and there's a lack of trust within the department for him as well as Tanaka. All these problems have occurred under their leadership. There's no difference between mismanagement and a lack of leadership, actually. There's no difference between the two of them. They're both the problem within the department. They've been in there for years. They have the pay-to-play program where, they support only those that have contributed to their campaigns, whether they're on the department or outside the department. So it's just gotten out of control.
Well, the election is coming up. What day do the polls open?
It's going to be June of next year is when the election takes place, so we've got some time. And so we're vigorously campaigning. We've got our website up, as you mentioned. Thank you. We're getting campaign contributions on the site. So we're really moving forward. And you may know, Doug, that I ran in 2002. And a lot of the issues that we're talking about now were problems back then. And I was out there in 2002. I was still on the department. I wasn't retired. And I talked about the issues about the lack of medical care that the inmates were getting, that we needed more supervisors because the supervision was inadequate, that we needed to raise our hiring standards, the lack of fiscal responsibility. Back then, he bought a $2.4 million jet. The take-home cars that the people have, there's over 1,200 people that have take-home cars that the taxpayers are paying for. I'm going to put an end to that. So all those issues I talked about in 2002, I was retaliated against. In violation of my First Amendment, I filed a federal lawsuit, which we won. It was divine justice. And as a result of that, I'm still in the race. I'm still fighting, and this time our our fight is even bigger, and we're going to be victorious this time.
All right. Well, listen, thanks for coming on with us, Patrick. Obviously, we'll be talking to you throughout the course of the campaign. Appreciate it, Patrick Gomez, candidate for sheriff. It's PatrickGomez4Sheriff.com.